Welcome to the final week of June 2023. That's Jesse Cook. I'm Austin Barach. And Jesse, the Miners have struggled a bit as of late. Last week wasn't great for Matsu.
One could say that 4 losses within the span of a week, not ideal for a team that began the last set of play in first place. You lose on Monday to the Glacier Pilots. Then your first loss to the Chinooks after going 2-0 against them. Lose again to the Glacier Pilots Wednesday morning, and you get beat by the Chinooks again on Friday. Positives out of this past week. That 7-run 6th inning in the second game of the doubleheader on Wednesday against the Glacier Pilots. But also, not to mention that you had that exhibition affair yesterday, which the Miners win over the Michigan Monarchs, and you get your first look at Brandon Downer. 3 innings, 5 strikeouts, just 2 hits.
Downer was a nice addition to this team. Price Simmering also pitched last week. Ace Whitehead, also pitched. So 3 newcomers on the pitching staff. And you mentioned the tough week that was, but the weekend was a bit better. On Saturday, we enjoyed an off day in southern Talkeetna, if you will. And then on Sunday, you alluded to an exhibition win, but before that, the pitchers had a little batting practice. This is because they had a shutout the prior Friday in Chugiak.
Drew Christo getting set up. Brady Malett there. Those guys both went big.
Oh, yeah. You talk about some dingers that these guys had. I mean, talk about power. If they were talking to head coach Tyler Brunn, put me in as a pinch hitter.
Well, there was Drew Christo. Brady Malett also with a home run. Both of those guys going yard. Yeah, why not put him into the lineup? You've already got Mario Bejarano and Ace Whitehead out there who hit during the NCAA season. How about those guys?
And the actual batters for this team did enough to earn a win yesterday against the Monarchs. Take a look at how all that unfolded.
Underneath the Whippoorwill wind just off the Glen Highway in Palmer, Alaska, it's Matsu Miners Matinee Baseball, and this time the team that sits right on the Alaska Riviera is welcoming one from the Great Lakes region. An exhibition game with the Michigan Monarchs. Alongside Austin Barach, I'm Jesse Cook. First pitch to the right, he misses inside, gets to the backstop. Caden Carpenter jogs home, everyone else moves up a base as well, and it's 1-0 Miners on the wild pitch. Pitch to Haley, misses inside again, skips away from Alasso, Vest comes home to score, Lancia to third, it's 2-0 Miners, back-to-back wild pitches, and the Miners lead 2-0 with nobody out here in the bottom of the first. 2-0 pitch, Haley swings, cuts it to short, throw on to first is in time, but Lancia comes home, it's 3-0 Miners. 3 pitches, 3 runs. Pitch, hard swing up the middle. Hannah's rounds third, fielded in center. No throw home, an RBI hit for Caden Carpenter. 4-0 Matsu leads with just 1 out in the bottom of the second.
Pitch, swung on, drilled into right center field. That's finding the gap. One hops the fence. Haley rounds third base. He's being waved home, and he's in. Landon Rogers, an RBI double. His hot bat continues. It's a 5-0 game. The 3-0 plunks him on the left elbow, right where he has that padding. Owasso crosses home plate, and the Monarchs have their first run of the game. It's 5-1. A lot of staring. That pitch gets past Farlander, so Thielman does scamper in this time. And it's now a 1-run game, 5-4. Kevin Court still working for the road team. He swings and launches one to deep left field. Back and over the fence. McGuire looks at it. It's over his head. It's over the fence. A home run for Caleb Hannes. It's a 6-4 game. Wow. He only had 1 dinger this season at Valpo. That came on May 18th. He strikes right here.
Today, 1-for-1, RBI double as well as a hit by pitch. So he's clobbered the ball lately. Pitch comes in. He swings and drives it to center field. Dresselhaus is there. Lancia tags up, and he will score without a throw. 7-4 Miners, bottom of the 5th inning. One out and a runner on second still. Lancia scores for the second time today. 0-1. Swings, dribbles it up the middle, underneath Westall's glove, right to second base. Tucker stabs it, steps on the bag, and throws to first. He got them both! Inning-ending double play. Nolan Tucker made it look so easy. TJ Kayla batting from the right side. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. The Miners, after some hubbub, win the exhibition affair 7-4. 7 innings goes the way of Matsu, and the camo-clad team starts off this next fray of play on a high note. Mario Bejarano with the save, hold for Larry Westall, and of course the win for Brandon Downer.
It's another Monday, which means another start for Camden Daly here in the Matanuska-Susitna Valley. Today, he has a date with the best offense in the ABL, the Glacier Pilots. It's the Miners and the Pilots here in Palmer, Alaska, alongside Jesse Cook. I'm Austin Barach. Daly enters today's contest with 3 starts. He's 1-1 with a 2.20 ERA, 4 earned runs in 16 1/3 innings. And last week, he faced these very same Glacier Pilots, went 5 innings, allowing 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 strikeouts, 0 walks, but did suffer the loss. Doing the catching, that is, for Daly, is Steven Lancia. First to third is Cooper Vest, Alex Thurston, Emilio Barreras, and Caleb Handis. Left to right, Brendan Rogers, Caden Carpenter, and Maddox Haley. The batting order for the visiting squad, the Anchorage Pilots. Contagucci, Will Bermudez, Blake Jackson, Nathan Barraza, Elijah Rodriguez, Andrew Lamb, Will Henson, Huck Wathan, and Joey Wright. This is the best offense in many categories in the ABL, Jesse. It'll be a tall task for Daly.
I think so, and a player I really look to on this Anchorage side for their success is Contagucci. He's either off or he's on against Matsu. There are games where he goes hitless, like his last one, or when he goes 3 for 5, like a week ago. In the Matsu lineup, I know it might sound redundant to say it, but it's all about Camden Daly. Because last time out, he had a fine start, did his job, to the best of his ability, but it still wasn't enough. He went 5 innings, allowed 4 runs. Only one of them was earned, but it starts and ends on the hill, except when you look at runners left on base for Matsu.
The runners left on base situation has been a tough one for the Miners this season, and they're going to need to come through against this type of offense. Taguchi, then Bermudez, then Jackson. 1, 2, 3 as we get going here in week 4 of the ABL season. It's the 7-7 Miners against the 8-5 Glacier Pilots. Here we go. Daly out of the stretch. The pitch. In there at the knees for strike 1 to Taguchi. Taguchi enters this game batting .400 on the season. That's 14 for 35. Against the Miners, he's batting .357. The pitch. In there once again. Strike 2 down the middle. 0-2 the count quickly. Daly's 0-2 offering. Just low, ball 1. Taguchi, last time these two teams met, last Wednesday, went 1 for 3 with a run and stole 1 base. Got caught stealing as well. The pitch, swung on chopper, hits the glove of Daly, redirects to Barreras, who can't make the play. He would have been safe anyways. An infield hit for Contagucci.
Really tough play for Camden Daly. It's a bouncer right back at you. You have to jump for it after you've already finished your windup, so you're already hanging off the rubber. Your momentum has carried you forward. You can't really jump back for it. The fact that he even got a glove on the ball is astounding.
6'5" Daly. That helped him there, but not enough to make the play. So here's Will Bermudez, the second baseman, the lefty. The pitch. Swoops in at the knees for strike 1 on the outside corner. Taguchi with a decent lead on first. He's 2 for 4 this season on stolen base attempts. Bermudez enters this contest batting .500 with 8 at-bats, so 4 for 8 for him. The pitch. Swung on and placed in a right field. A sharp hit. Haley picks it up and throws on. Taguchi rounds for third. The throw is just off the mark to Hannes. And Bermudez's single sends Taguchi from first to third. Runners on the corners here with nobody out.
Would have had him had the throw been on line. It's a long distance from right field to third base, and Haley couldn't quite put it on the mark.
So Daly surrendered 7 hits against this team a week ago, allowed 6 hits versus the Bucks 2 weeks ago, and allowed fewer than that in hits in the opener 3 weeks ago against the Chinooks. Right here has to deal with Blake Jackson, batting .440 this season, 11 for 25. The pitch, swung on, looped in a shallow center field. Carpenter in on it, makes the play, and the runners do not advance as he sends the ball directly to Lancey at home plate. 1 out.
Heck of a throw from Caden Carpenter. Sure, he was coming in on the ball. Still, that's like over 200 feet. He had to chuck that, and it was basically a strike to the plate.
Beautiful throw, exactly, from Carpenter. Had all the momentum with him, and these Glacier Pilots are swinging it early and getting it into play. Feels like we haven't been able to catch our breath here, but runner is still at the corners. 1 gone for Nathan Barraza, who hit a big blast in Wednesday's first game in a 1-0 win that resumed from June 10th. Stares at a ball that sails right off the edge. 1-0 the count to the cleanup hitter.
Barraza, man of many talents, recorded a save against Matsu, their first meeting.
That's right. Daly checks on the runner at first. Nearly got Bermudez, who had a strong lead. Barraza enters today batting .259. Went 2 for 3 on Saturday against the Chinooks with an RBI. The 1-0. High and outside for ball 2, 2-0. Barraza this season, though, against the Miners, just 176. He does have that home run, but just 3 for 17 for the big righty. 6'5" Daly versus 6'3" Barraza. The pitch swung on and lifted out of play along the first base side. 2-1 the count. Barraza tied for the league lead with 2 homers this season. The 2-1 runs inside, ball 3, 3-1 the count to him.
I think we remember that second home run pretty well because it was a game winner in that first leg of the doubleheader back on Wednesday. His side's only hit.
Yes, he only hit a big one for the CSU Northridge product. The pitch, down low, ball 4. And the bases are loaded here with just 1 out in the top of the first.
Well, Elijah Rodriguez, who's got the situation now, he's a very tricky hitter. Up near 400 is his average at 392. Not exactly the bat you want to see come up against you with the bags juiced.
Right. 20 hits in 51 at-bats, those 20 hits, the best mark in the league. Daly's in a jam right now. The pitch. Downstairs, ball 1. Stopped by Lancia between his legs. Rodriguez, though, against Matsu, batting just .267, 4 for 15. Does have an RBI, a walk, a strikeout, a run, and 2 stolen bases against the Miners. The 1-0, low again, ball 2. We saw yesterday Brady Malin have some command issues in the exhibition against the Monarchs. Right now, Daly struggling a little bit to find the strike zone.
Well, Drew Christo had the same problems on Friday. Walked
right.
6 in an inning.
That was the starter on Friday. Daly has only started on Mondays. His 4th start right here of the season. The 2-0 pitch. Up high, ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes to the ever-dangerous Elijah Rodriguez. A ball here would walk in a run. Taguchi on third base. Jackson on second. The pitch. Just catches the outside corner, 3-1. Barraza on first base. He just worked a walk. So sticky situation here for the Miners. The 3-1 swung on, back up the middle, ground ball, backhand side by Thurston, flips it on to Barreras for the force out at second base. Just barely got him, but Taguchi scampers into home plate for the first run of the game. Anchorage 1, Matsu nothing. Now with 2 outs.
Quick turn by Thurston out there. It was a tough play because he had to backhand it and then flip it back to the second base bag. The fact that Matsu got even 1 out there really is a credit to that defense.
Definitely a bang play. And here it brings up the lefty Andrew Lamb once again, rocking the no batting gloves. Lamb this season batting .200, 4 for 20. The pitch up high, ball 1. Runners at the corners. Rodriguez at first base. Blake Jackson at third base. 2 gone in the top of the first. Daly trying to limit the damage to just 1 run. His 1-0 swung on and looped back out of play along the third base side. The count evens up at 1-1. Lamb out of USC is just 1 for 10 this season against Matsu. With 6 strikeouts, he has actually struck out exactly twice in each of his 3 games against the Miners. Daly hoping for a strikeout right here. The 1-1 swung on, popped back out of play once again. So the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Statement pitch here. If you can get out of the inning allowing just 1 run after loading the bases, then that's a major confidence builder.
The left fielder, Britton Rogers, playing fairly in against Lamb. 2 doubles, though, in the season. He swings and fouls it back off Lancia's mitt out of play. Daly entered today's contest 13 strikeouts to just 5 walks. Issued a walk already, looking for a strikeout here. The pitch tails away for a ball. 2-2 the count. 2 on, 2 outs in a 2-2 count. Anchorage leads 1-0 in the top of the first. Daly's pitch, swung on, driven to deep right field. Haley looks up. It's over his head. It's over the wall. A 3-run blast for Andrew Lamb. His first home run of the season puts the road squad up 4-0.
Well, Daly put his best pitch out there. It was the second time he came at him with a 2-strike pitch. Third time, really. And his best just wasn't good enough there.
Here's the pitch to Will Henson. Takes a strike on the upper part of the plate. So a tough start to the game for the Miners. The 0-1 skips in the dirt. Lancia scoops it up with the backhand. 1-1. Henson enters, batting just 147. 5 hits and 34 at bats. The pitch. Downstairs again, ball 2. His last game came a week ago right here at Herman Brothers Field, so this is his first action in 7 days. Against Matsu, he's just 1 for 5 with 4 strikeouts. Daly's 2-1 swung on and roped to the third baseman. Caleb Hannes makes the backhand stab for the third out. A 3-run homer off of Andrew Lamb blooms the lead to 4-0. We head to the bottom of the first. Four 0 the lead for the road team. Pitching for Anchorage is Caden Copeland. The Miners saw him here at Herman Brothers last week. Went 3 1/3 innings, allowing just 1 hit, 2 earned runs, 3 strikeouts, 4 walks, earned the no decision. Catching for him is Huck Wathen. First to third base, Barraza, Bermudez, right, Henson, left to right, Taguchi, Jackson, and Rodriguez. The batting order for Ty LeBron's squad: Emilio Barreras, Cooper Vest, Steven Lancia, Maddox Haley, Caden Carpenter, Landon Rogers, Braden Rogers, Caleb Hannes, and Alex Thurston. Any surprises right here?
I wouldn't say so. I mean, Maddox Haley being in right field comes as a bit of a shock, but Braden Rogers has been great in the outfield, and Caleb Hannes, Alex Thurston, Emilio Barreras, all regulars in that infield rotation.
That's right, so here's Barreras in a lefty versus lefty matchup. Enters the contest batting .273, 15 for 55. Most hits and most at-bats on the team. The pitch. Low and away, but catches the corner for strike one. Barreras was off yesterday in the exhibition. Both times in the exhibitions that he's had the day off. The pitch. Loops in on the outside corner again for strike two. 0-2 the count quickly to Barreras. Only 4 strikeouts so far this season for Emilio. He's done a great job avoiding the punch-out. The pitch. Runs away for ball one.
Emilio, one of 2 players to appear in every game for Matsu. Only one to start every game. Cooper Vest had 1 at-bat in a game. He started on the bench.
Copeland's 1-2. Loops in and a soft hit to the left fielder. Taguchi ranges over and makes the grab. So Barreras, the Grand Canyon guy, hits it to his Grand Canyon teammate for out number 1.
Saw Taguchi talking with Barreras and Grant Richardson, the GCU trio, before the game, catching up.
So here's Cooper Vest. His family was here yesterday. They'll watch him play throughout this week. The pitch. In there for a strike, right above the knees. Vest enters today batting .241, as we've alluded to throughout the season. A lot of tough luck hitting balls right at fielders. Copeland's 1-0, rather 0-1, is a swing and a miss for strike 2.
Very aggressive hitter in Vest.
8 strikeouts to just 2 walks for Cooper this season. The 0-2 is just high for a ball. Vest has not hit very well against these Glacier Pilots. Enters at just 1 for 13 on the season. That's batting average of .077. The pitch. Low and outside, ball 2. The count evens up 2 balls, 2 strikes. That one hit, though, was in the latest game on Wednesday. Went 1 for 3 with a double and a run and a walk against the Pilots. The 2-2 pitch. Big cut and a miss on the inside corner. Strike 3. There's 2 gone in the bottom of the first.
So one time the hanging curveball works well for the pitcher. When the batter expects it to drop, it comes high. When it comes high and in, got a little aggressive with my hand gesture there, and accidentally punched myself right in the chin. Came high and in just like my fist, and never broke.
So here's Steven Lancia after that hilarity in the booth. Takes a pitch inside for ball 1. Pops off of Wathen's mitt. We apologize to the viewers who had to listen to that abrupt, loud noise. Copeland's 1-0. Catches the bottom part of the zone for strike 1. 1-1 the count to Lancia, who's just been on a tear this season, batting .667, 8 for 12, and yesterday had a double that would have been a home run except for the 30-mile-per-hour winds. The pitch, just above the strike zone for ball 2, 2-1 to Lancia.
I have to tie my arms to the chairs now. Low mobility.
Whatever it takes. The 2-1 swung on, a big cut and a miss for strike 2. Lancia just 1 strikeout so far this season. Arrived here last week. Has been a staple in the heart of the order for the Miners so far. The home plate umpire is motioning for 2-2. The scoreboard read 3-2. But the pitch swung on and blasted right up the middle. Another hard hit single for Steven Lancia. He's now 9 for 13 on the season. And there's a runner on with 2 outs.
Man, he has a sweet swing. Everything has been working for him this past week since he came back to Alaska, but he needs the rest of the lineup to rally around him.
That is certainly the case. He can't be a one-man wrecking machine. But here's Maddox Haley, who's been pretty good as of late, has hit safely in 6 of his last 7 games dating back to June 16th. Copeland's pitch nearly hits him for ball 1. Haley overall is batting .277, 13 hits and 47 at-bats against the Pilots, hitting .400, 6 for 15. Hit safely in every meeting against this Anchorage squad. The 1-0. Low again, ball 2. Short lead for Lancia at first. Copeland's 2-0. Misses the edge of the plate for ball 3, 3-0 to Maddox.
We got Caden Carpenter on deck, and he can hit the ball hard and get Haley aboard. That's a lot of men to move.
The 3-0. And Haley takes one right down the middle for strike 1. Clearly did not have the green light on that pitch, just saw it through, and now re-enters the box in a favorable count. Copeland's 3-1, swung on chopper, right side of the infield. Could be a tough play. Ranging over is the second baseman, Bermudez, and he fires on the first for the 3rd out. After 1 inning, Anchorage 4, Matsu 0. We'll be right back. 8-9-1 due up for the road team, and Cannon Daly suffered a 4-run top of the first, but always a chance to settle in here at Herman Brothers Field in the Matsu Valley. Alongside Jesse Cook, I'm Austin Barach. Huck Wathen, Joey Wright, and Con Deguchi ready to get going for the Glacier Pilots. And right here, another righty batter's box is Huck Wathen. And boy, has he struggled. He is 0 for 25 this season with 11 strikeouts. Daly's pitch, way outside in the dirt for ball 1. Wathen has also only reached base on 1 ball, or rather walk, I should say.
Only took 1 pitch.
The 1-pitch walk never seen before. Big hack and a miss for Wathen. Evens up the count at 1 apiece.
Swing and miss we've seen before.
Yes.
That's common. 1-pitch walk, not so common.
I guess they kind of call that the balk, perhaps. The 1-1. Lone away, 2-1 the count.
You can't get to first on a balk. It's like the old saying, you can't steal first. You can't get balked to first. It's a hit by pitch you're thinking of.
The pitch. Cut and a miss in the dirt. 2-2 the count. I guess I'm just being too ambitious. Maybe I try to will myself to steal first. I don't know.
You get that extra step out the box.
Wathen would do anything to get to first base. With this streak going, he chops one to the Anchorage dugout. Count remains 2-2. So Wathen's 0 for 25 overall. Against the Miners, he's 0 for 6 with 2 strikeouts, but a run scored. Daly's 2-2. Lines it to the shortstop Barach. He swoops, throws on the run, and he doesn't get him in time. Wathen beats out the run, and the Glacier Pilots cheer very loudly. They know that's Wathen's first hit of the season. Wow.
A lot going the way of Anchorage very early.
It would have been a tough play for. It was a tough play for Barach to make, ranging over to his right and having to throw on the run. So here's Joey Wright, the 9th batter in the order. Takes ball down and low. Wright this season is batting .333, but that's just in 6 at bats. He's 2 for 6. Went 0 for 1 on Saturday against Chugiak. Went 1 for 3 against the Miners last time they faced, and he lines one right up the middle into center field. Wathen rounds second. He'll stop right there, directly on the base. And the 8-9 manners both aboard here with singles to start the second inning.
That's exactly how the first frame started as well, with Taguchi and Bermudez going back-to-back on hits.
So this prompts a mound visit with pitching coach Steve Hecker. It's been a tough outing so far for Cannon Daly.
Yeah, you could say that, because he's someone who's used to success. He entered this game with a .220 earned run average. That's very good as a starter, especially. So a lot of the job of the pitching coach is just to calm down his pitcher. Maybe there is something that you can see is mechanically wrong, but that doesn't look like the case with Daly. He's throwing strikes. He's throwing them well. Just that these Anchorage bats are seeing something right out of his hand.
They are definitely seeing the ball well, that is for sure. So here is Con Taguchi, the leadoff man. And as Jesse alluded to, he singled back in the first inning. So Taguchi improving that .400 batting average, which is pretty wild to say out loud. That was his 6th hit and 15 at-bats against Matsu this season. The pitch. Upstairs, ball 1. So runner is on first and second. Wathen on second base, Wright at first base. The score 4-0 with no outs in the top of the second. Already 5 hits for the road teams so far through 1+ innings. Barach wants the throw, and Daly promptly steps off the rubber. A lot being said from the Glacier Pilots dugout right now as they have the lead. The 1-0 to Taguchi runs outside for ball 2, 2-0 the count. Carpenter in center and Braden Rogers in left playing shallow. Maddox Haley playing deeper in right field. Taguchi stares at a pitch on the outside corner for strike one. Taguchi does not have a home run, but does have 3 doubles this season. Does not have an extra base hit against Matsu, though, this season. The 2-1 delivery. Inside ball 3, 3-1 the count.
He's walked 12 times this year.
Daly out of the stretch. The pitch swung on and hit back out of play. The count is full. Two on, nobody out. Anchorage up 4-0 in the top of the second. Full count to the leadoff man. The pitch. Chopper swinging bunt kind of down the first base side and out of play. So we'll do this thing again.
Great sign for Daly that he jammed Taguchi on a pitch inside, worked his breaking stuff, and the Japan-born batter was really struggling with it as it crept in on his ankles.
It was an awkward swing to stay alive. But the dangerous batter has another pitch to see. The payoff, swung on, battered into left field. Rogers on his horse and makes the play in stride down the left field line for out number 1.
Well, Taguchi put it exactly where he wanted to, right down the line. It's just Braden Rogers saw that ball well off the bat and started running for it early. You don't often see that out of outfielders, that they make the jump early.
Yeah, great break from Rogers. I put both of his names together.
Rogers.
Braden Rogers, yeah. So Rogers out there and left. Daly here facing the 2-batter, Will Bermudez, singled back in the first inning. We saw him hit a triple against Matsu last Wednesday.
That was his first at-bat in the ABL. That triple.
That's right. The 0-1 swung on, popped up. Hannes gives chase, but watches it sail way out of play. But the count runs to 0 balls and 2 strikes to Bermudez. So Daly, after winning the battle against Taguchi, ahead in the count 0-2. Runners remain on first and second, 1 away here in the top of the second. 4-0 lead for the road team. Daly's 0-2, runs in, swung on, placed in a center field. Carpenter is there, ranges to his right, makes the catch, throws on a third base. The runner tags and gets there. So Joey Wright ranges over to third base, and that's actually Huck Wathen with the speed. Runners on the corners now, but with 2 outs. So this brings up Blake Jackson, the soon-to-be South Carolina Gamecock, digs into the lefty batter's box. He flew out to the aforementioned Caden Carpenter back in the first inning. The pitch. Down low, gets between the legs of Lancia. So the runner at first base right swipes second, but it wasn't enough for Wathen to run home. Runners now at second and third. 2 ducks in scoring position for Jackson, who has 1 RBI on the season. Just 1. 3 extra base hits, though. The pitch. High and outside ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes to Jackson. This season against the Miners, Jackson is 2 for 4, but has been hit 4 times, which is kind of unbelievable. The 2-0 grabs the outside corner for a strike, 2-1. Jackson with the stance off the plate, slightly open. Hands close to the chest. The pitch. Upstairs, ball 3, the count, 3-1. Contreras with his feet on the grass and short. The pitch, low and outside, ball 4. And this loads up the bases in back-to-back innings.
Well, you keep putting yourself in a jam. I mean, you can be happy with the, not happy, but at least content with the first 2 runners on base because they hit their way aboard. You threw a strike and they got the better of you, but the walks are killer.
Nathan Barraza right here. Well, he walked back in the first inning. Bases loaded, 2 away here in the second. The pitch swung on and popped out of play for strike 1. Bit of a breaking ball right there from Cannon Daly, who desperately needs to get out of this inning without another run. Already 4-0 here in the top of the second. Barraza, with those 2 home runs this season, is awarded time to reset. Swings his bat over his head, now gets back in the box. Daly's 0-1 offering loops in and nearly plunks him in the head. 1-1.
Well, you can't afford to miss like that here.
Big backstop here at Herman Brothers. The 1-1 swung on, drifts into left center field. Carpenter ranges over and makes the grab for out number 3. Daly gets out of the jam through 1.5 innings. Pilots 4, Miners 0. Down 4-0 here in the bottom of the second inning. Caden Carpenter, Landon Rogers, and Braden Rogers are due up for the Miners. So a little Caden on Caden action right here. Carpenter in the box, Copeland on the mound. Lefty versus lefty. The pitch in at the knees for strike 1. Carpenter this season batting just .171. But does have 11 walks and 3 hit by pitches. The 1-0 is laced back up the middle. Ranging is right to shortstop on the 1-hop. Throws on a first in time for the out. Right knew exactly where Carpenter likes to hit it. And just took away a single.
Not much more you can do if you're Caden Carpenter. You roped that up the middle, but they're shifting as far as they can right into their hand.
Carpenter had 2 base hits up the middle just yesterday, so good scouting by the road team. Landon Rogers watches the ball skip in front of the home plate for ball 1. Rogers bats .273. Went 1 for 3 against Chugiak on Friday. Against the Glacier Pilots this season, he's 5 for 11, .455. The pitch, big, even a miss. So 5 of his 6 hits this season have come against this team. The count, though, 1-1. Up high for ball 2. 2-1 the count to the rising sophomore out of Santa Fe Community College. Rogers, a good glue guy in this clubhouse, watches another pitch run upstairs. 3-1 the count to him. Rogers got the pickaxe for player of the game last Wednesday. The pitch checks his swing, and he went around according to the first base umpire. So Rogers, who was already trotting to first base on the walk, now has to re-enter the box.
Tried a sell job there. Home plate umpire didn't quite buy it, neither did the first.
Rogers 8 strikeouts to 3 walks. The payoff pitch. He's rung up on a pitch at around the knee level. The visiting squad loves that, and Copeland 2 gone already in the second.
I don't know about that call. That looked awfully similar to the stripe of his socks. Either way, Matt Sue just not getting the breaks early on that it needs.
Definitely not. Definitely not. So here steps Braden Rogers, the righty. Takes a ball below the knees clearly this time. 1-0 the count to him. Rogers at the Braden variety, batting 171 this season. The pitch in there for a strike. 1-1 the count. He homered against these Glacier Pilots on Wednesday. That kick-started the rally. From 5-0 down, the Miners won 10-5. The pitch inside, but called a strike on the inner part of the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Braden. Copeland out of the windup. Kicks and deals the 1-2. Up high. 2-2. In Copeland this season, 3 starts, 1-1 with a 6.30 ERA, a 1.80 whip, 11 strikeouts to 13 walks. The pitch swung on and missed, strike 3. The third punch out of the early afternoon for Caden Copeland, and the side is retired. After 2 innings, the road team up 4-0. Four to nothing, the Glacier Pilots lead entering the top half of the third inning. Alongside Jesse Cook, I'm Austin Barach. Due up 5, 6, 7. Elijah Rodriguez, Andrew Lamb, and Will Henson for the road squad. Rodriguez reach on a ground ball from Thurston to Barreras in the first inning. The pitch from Daly swung on and trickles out of play for a strike. Rodriguez, incredible numbers this season. We mentioned the nearly 400 batting average, the 20 base hits, the 0-1, tails outside for a ball, 1-1 the count. Also has 11 RBIs, 13 runs, and 9 stolen bases. Those 9 swipes, the top mark in the ABL, the 1-1. Swinging a trickler down towards the visiting dugout for another strike, 1-2.
He's making a good early case for ABL MVP, title held by Alex Vergara for the Miners last year.
That's right. We'll see him pretty shortly, but not today. The 1-2 swing, chopper to Thurston, the second baseman, fields it at the ankles, shovels over to first for out number 1.
easy play for Thurston. He had to work out how to play the hop, but it was right to his left, so plenty of time. He got to finger roll it over to first, and that layup worked out pretty well for Matsu.
Finger roll and layup. You're speaking my language. So here's Andrew Lamb, who corked that massive three-run homer in the first inning. The pitch down low for ball one. That swing has really changed the vibe of this game for good reason, obviously. A three-run homer to grow the lead from 1-0 to 4-0 with 2 outs and a 2-strike count. Well, it was pretty crazy stuff. The pitch swung on, roped into center field, but this is in the yard. Carpenter makes the catch. He's been busy today for out number 2.
Well, that wind has been carrying out pretty lightly to center. Does make a little bit of a difference. Turns some of the flyouts out there into, well, longer flyouts because it's nearly 400 feet to center field. But it probably helped in that home run for Lamb. Still, he crushed it.
Daly, 2 quick outs, faces Will Henson. The third baseman lined out in the first. Takes a pitch just outside for ball 1. Henson out of Lindenwood, 6'1", 175. The pitch, framed by Lancia, but to no avail. Outside and low for ball 2, 2-0 the count. A rising junior there. Hometown of Chicago, Illinois. The pitch just misses below the knees for ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes to the 7-batter. Henson has worked 7 walks so far this season, 4 against Matsu. The pitch in there this time, peppered over the middle of the plate for strike 1.
That line out for Henson last time up was a screamer right at Caleb Hannes.
The 3-1 pitch, chopper, just outside of the third base bag for a full count.
Another good example there of how Henson is seeing those breaking pitches and getting on them early. Daly might want to go with something slower just to keep him off balance.
And Hannes, the third baseman, is playing fairly close to the third base line. The pitch swung on and missed for strike 3. So Daly retires a side 1-2-3 through 2.5. Pilots 4, Miners 0. Four to nothing as we roll along here, bottom of the third, alongside Jesse Cook. I'm Austin Barach. 8-9-1 due up for the home squad. Caleb Hannes, then Alex Thurston, then Emilio Barreras. Don't Stop Believin' is playing, the classic hit song, and Matsu needs to have that mantra right now, down 4-0. They haven't exactly been awesome when facing deficits, but the last time these two teams met, they were down 5-0 and came back to win 10-5. So literally crazier things have happened. There's still a lot of game left to be played. So here's Caleb Hannes against Copeland. The pitch. Downstairs, ball 1. Hannes, it won't count in the official stats, but we saw with our own 2 eyes, he clobbered a home run yesterday on the first pitch he saw in an at-bat. The pitch runs outside for ball 2. In yesterday's exhibition affair against the Monarchs. So he has that kind of power. Hit 1 home run this season in NCAA play. Officially 0 here in the ABL, but he has that power. The pitch. Skips at the plate for ball 3. Quickly the count, 3-0.
Caleb Hanna's someone who knows how to get on base by way of the walk. No stranger to that with 9 bases on balls.
Copeland hasn't dealt one so far today. And avoids that right there for the time being with a fastball catching the outside corner. 3 balls, 1 strike to the 8-batter Hannes. The pitch swung on, hit sharply but out of play, bringing up a full count. Hannes batting just 174, but with those walks, a 424 on base percentage. The payoff pitch swung on, hit into right field, ranging to the left is Rodriguez, and he makes the play for out number 1.
Hannes has been pushing the ball a lot more lately. Sure, that home run yesterday he pulled, but he went to opposite field a lot of the time on Friday and back on Wednesday, and he tried it again today, and that at-bat just didn't work because he popped it up.
So this brings up Alex Thurston, batting just 161 this season. Copeland's pitch, fouled back out of play. Against the Pilots, Thurston has struggled as well, 0 for 8 with 5 strikeouts. Does have an RBI and a walk mixed in as well. Last time he played them on Wednesday went 0 for 2 with an RBI and a walk. Swings and fouls one to the backstop, quickly down 0-2. Thurston has struck out 14 times this season. In danger of another one here. The pitch. Misses high for ball 1. Last time we saw Thurston in an official game was on June 20th versus the Chinooks. That was last Tuesday. The pitch. Swings half-heartedly on a pitch inside. Strike 3. 2 up, 2 down.
Really strong sweeping motion on that curveball for Copeland. Caught him inside. That pitch starts out over the heart of the plate and drops drastically late in the throw.
So Barreras, the leadoff man, digs into the lefty batter's box. He flew out to left his first time up. Swings on the first pitch he sees. Right, the shortstop fields it. Throws on the first high, but not high enough for Barraza to collect for out number 3. A quick bottom of the third for Copeland. He keeps delivering. 8-9-1 due up in the top of the 4th for the Glacier Pilots. After 3, it's 4-0 road team.
Welcome back to Herman Brothers Field in Palmer, Alaska. 4-0, the Glacier Pilots lead the Miners, top of the 4th inning. Jesse Cook with you alongside Austin Barach. And if you're looking for any indication of how this game has gone for the Miners, aside from the score, well, Huck Wathen, who's leading off this frame after going 0 for 25, struck his first hit of the season. Andrew Lamb, who didn't have a home run during the NCAA season or at all in the ABL, smashed his first one. And Camden Daly, who's been a strong starter for Matsu, gave up 4 runs in that first inning. Righty-righty matchup. Daly's still on the hill. He fires. Swings, drives it down the left field line, but it's just foul. Wathen, the leadoff man, sits behind the dish. He's actually the 8 hitter in the order. Singled last time on the infield dirt out to Emilio Barreras at short. 0-1. This is low and away for a ball. Joey Wright sits on deck. He also had a single his first time up. Kon Taguchi, the leadoff man, in the 3 spot this inning. Daly, the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Works him high and inside. The BYU transfer, coming from Southern Illinois, he's got one strikeout in this game on the hill. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Daly has his second K, and Huckwathan is down for the first out.
Well, that's more like it for Huckwathan. More of what we've seen from him this season.
I'm not sure he would say that's more like it. Joey Wright, who singled last time, that's more like it for him.
Yeah, I'm just stating facts.
It's more like it for Camden Daly.
Sure.
The pitch. Swings, pops it up. Right of first base, hooking foul and out of play. Vest, who's over on first, looked his family dead in the eyes as he was chasing that ball because it came right towards their section, and eventually he slacked off. I think he thought his brother Boston had a better shot at it. The 0-1. Half swing, dribbles it to second base. Thurston scoops it, throws to the bag, and there's 2 away. Nobody on, 2 out. A 4-0 lead for the Glacier Pilots. Top of the 4th inning. Top of the order up as well in Kon Taguchi. We've said it before. Against the Miners, he's either off or he's on. He's had 2 hitless games against Matsu. Also went 3 for 5 a week ago in this ballpark. Righty-lefty matchup. Daly fires. Swings, bounces it out to second. Thurston with a mirror play. Throws onto the bag, and he got him. Back-to-back pitches, back-to-back groundouts, and that does it for the top of the 4th. We move on to the bottom half of the inning. Matsu with 2-3-4 coming up, and Vest, Lancia, and Haley. Stay tuned. We'll be back in a bit. 4-0 Pilots. Bottom of the 4th inning coming your way from the Matsu Valley. Alongside Austin Barach, I'm Jesse Cook. Stands at 4-0 Glacier Pilots for the score, and it's been that way for the past 43 minutes since 6:10 when Andrew Lamb went yard with a 3-run homer. Matsu has not answered back, only 1 hit for the Miners in the first 3 innings. Cooper Vest up first. The man on deck, Stephen Lancia, had that hit, a single. Didn't make it further than first base, so, because Maddox Haley, who's in the hole, grounded out after that to end the first inning. Vest, first time up, struck out swinging on the 5th pitch he saw from Caden Copeland, who's still on the hill, the lefty out of Louisiana Tech. Fires the first one to Vest. Hefty swing and miss, low and inside, so an 0-1 count. Vest entered this game batting .241. That's 13 for 54. He swings a lot. 0-1. Check swing, puts it foul off to the left side. Vest swings a lot, doesn't look at a lot of pitches. 54 at-bats, 58 plate appearances, only 2 walks and 2 hit by pitches. Strikeouts, though, run up to 9. 0-2. High and inside, missed over his head.
Yeah, that was going right at the old dome there. So, Vest pretty casually just ducked out of the way.
Yeah, that was going right for the noggin, but just lipped out of the way. He's 6 feet tall. That pitch would have gone him if he was 6'1". 1-2, swings, drives it straight away center field. That ball lands for a hit. Cooper Vest aboard with a leadoff single, got it right in front of Blake Jackson. So the Miners have one on with nobody out for the hottest hitter in the ABL, Stephen Lancia. He had a single last time up. Austin, he's just on fire.
He is. I'm very excited right now. I'm really happy too for Vest think about how many hard hit balls he's had. For a minute, I thought Jackson was going to lay out and have a diving catch like so on brand, but good stuff so far.
Couldn't quite get there. First pitch to the righty, Lancia. Misses inside for a ball. And Lancia, he's a hot hitter, batting .667 in his first week. Went 8 for 12. Added in another hit today. He's 9 for 13. 1-0. Called strike, low and away.
Nothing you're going to do with that pitch. Just a well-executed paint job by Copeland.
Yeah, that's a put-away pitch. Lancia lucky wasn't down 0-2. 1-1 count. Fires from the stretch. Misses high and away for a ball. Lancia out of UT Rio Grande Valley. A lot of Texas natives in this league. Lancia batted .321 in the NCAA this past season. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. That same high and away cheese that didn't quite sit well for him. So a 2-2 count with nobody out and a runner on first. Matsu down heavily, 4-0 here in the top of the fourth. Bottom of the fourth, rather. Copeland fires. Misses inside. Hits the catcher's pads and bounces away. Vest swipes second. The ball meandered out in between the catcher and the pitcher's mound. So a wild pitch has a man in scoring position for the run-hungry Miners. Full count for Lancia. Walked twice thus far, only struck out once. Copeland comes set. He deals. Misses up high and away, ball 4. The wild pitch doesn't matter. Runners on first and second for Matsu with Maddox Haley coming up.
That is a great take by Steven Lancia. A nearly borderline pitch. He tracked it all the way, and it tailed away from him. Great eye by Lancia. That is a difference between a good and a great batter right there.
Yeah, it takes some guts to lay off a pitch like that. That one had eyes. Maddox Haley shares a brief discussion with third base coach Kyle Watson, while Huck Wathen went out to talk to his pitcher. Haley not someone to bunt, but Kyle Watson, also the hitting coach for this team, so no doubt giving him some advice. Corners in for Anchorage. Runners on first and second. Matsu. Nobody out. 4-0 Glacier Pilots. Bottom of the fourth. The pitch. The righty swings, tails it into shallow right field. That's down for a hit. Rodriguez fast to the ball. He throws it all the way home. So everybody moves up just one base. And the Miners have them loaded. Down 4 for Caden Carpenter, who already has 1 home run this season.
This is big. This is big. Here we go. No outs. Base is juiced. But, again, it's all about getting those runners home. You can never be too certain so far with this Matsu team. Got to bring these runners home.
Well, Caden Carpenter struggles against the Glacier Pilots pitching, just a 143 average against the boys in blue. Lefty-lefty matchup, bases loaded, corners in. The pitch, in the dirt for a ball. 4-0 Glacier Pilots. The last time that Anchorage went up 4-0 or more over Matsu, the Valley came back and won. That was on Wednesday in their last meeting. Second leg of that doubleheader was a 5-0 lead for Anchorage after 4 innings. Matsu ended up winning 10-5. 1-0. Misses low and inside again. And all that started for the Miners with a Braden Rogers home run and then that 7-run 6th inning that wasn't just walks. It was chock full of hits for the Miners as well. And that was a promising sight for a team that has struggled leaving runners on the bases. Matsu stranded 73 men this season. That's more than 5 per game. 2-0. Swing and a miss. Front door curveball had him way out in front. But that's not just 5 men left on base every game. 5 men left in scoring position every game for the Miners. That's 5 runs that you're going without every day. Copeland from the stretch. Bounces again. 3-1 count for Carpenter. Bases loaded. Nobody out in the bottom of the fourth. A 4-0 lead for Anchorage. Copeland, this season, he has allowed 4 runs in 1 appearance. He did that in his first start against the Oilers, went just 2 2/3 innings. 3-1. High and inside. Home plate umpire says that Carpenter went around. The pitch totally jammed him, and it's a full count after what should have been a free pass.
Yeah, Carpenter's upset at himself. He knew he went around. He just couldn't quite control himself in that swing.
Well, he is someone who holds himself accountable. 3-2 count. Nobody out. Copeland fires home. Front door curveball caught him looking. Carpenter upset about that call. And he holds himself accountable. That game where he had his only home run of the season, he also struck out 3 times, and that's all he talked about after the affair. There's his first K today. And that brings up Landon Rogers, who went down in the same manner last time up with a full pitch backward strikeout. He bats from the right side. Copeland fires. Waits on a curveball low and in. Ball 1. Bases loaded. 1 out for Matsu. 4-0 Glacier Pilots, bottom of the 4th. No doubt the M's best opportunity thus far. Copeland deals. In the dirt, gets by Wathen. That's to the backstop. Vest scores without a throw. Everybody else moves up a base as well. 4-1 Glacier Pilots in the bottom of the 4th. Runners on second and third now. Two 2-0 count for Rogers after the wild pitch. Wathen, there was no helping him back there. He keeled over to his right to try and slide to make the stop, but it just got by him. Now a mound visit for Anchorage to talk things over. And right now, if you're Caden Copeland, you're going through a lot of emotions because you got that strong strikeout against a good hitter in Caden Carpenter, but still, you now allow a run on a mistake that is your own.
Much needed break for Matsu. You're absolutely right, Jesse. This is, for Copeland to be able to come back from a 3-1 count and strike out Carpenter in the fashion he did, get an uproar from his dugout, and then throw a wild pitch to Landon Rogers. This gives life. It all starts with 1. A 4-1 deficit is so much better psychologically than a 4-0 deficit. It's just tough to see that 0 hanging up next to your name. So right now, and with that, a 2-0 count, so a favorable count for Rogers.
And he'll have a new pitcher to deal with. A long mound visit brings Ethan Oseguera onto the hill. So Caden Copeland's day ends in the middle of a batter. Oseguera, the right-hander out of Lamar University, a rising sophomore, he comes on into a situation with 1 out, 2 men in scoring position, a 3-run lead, and red-hot Landon Rogers at the plate. So we'll have all that and more when we come back. 4-1 Glacier Pilots. We're going to take a short break while the new arm gets set. Back at it in Palmer, Alaska. New arm in the game for the Glacier Pilots. Ethan Oseguera, the righty out of Lamar University, comes on to a situation where his side leads 4-1. Runners on second and third with 1 away for the Miners. Landon Rogers at the dish with a 2-0 count.
And Henson and Barraza playing in on the corners.
First pitch in the dirt, so a 3-0 count for Rogers. Caden Copeland dealt with him after throwing just 3 1/3 innings.
That was a tremendous stop by Huck Wathen. He lurched his body forward to protect the ball.
Solid stuff behind the dish. Oseguera fires In the dirt, ball 4. Once again, the bases are loaded for Matsu. So after removing Copeland for his sudden inability to throw a strike or force a swing and miss, Ethan Oseguera's first 2 pitches are both in the dirt. That brings up Braden Rogers. Last time he saw the Glacier Pilots, he smacked his only home run of the season. A long solo shot at Mulcahy Stadium made him the first road player to homer in Anchorage. Righty-righty matchup. Bases loaded, 1 away, 3-run game. The pitch. Front door curveball loops into the zone for strike 1. Oseguera enters this affair with no decisions on the season, but a .385 record. Pitched 1 week ago against the Miners. That's his last appearance. 3 scoreless innings, 3 hits, 3 Ks. The pitch. Another curveball for a strike. Braden Rogers down to the count 0-2. Big opportunity for Matsu. You strand more than 5 runners in scoring position every game. Now you've got the bases loaded here. You're down 3 runs. You can't let this go to waste. There is only 1 out. The pitch. Swings, bounces it down the third base line, and just foul.
Rogers definitely wants to see a pitch middle in. Obviously doesn't love the swing at those outside pitches. Those first 2 pitches here in this at-bat were nothing that Rogers wanted to deal with.
0-2 pitch. Swung on and bounced out towards third again, but foul.
All right, so the middle in again, and he ropes it down the line. Not quite fair. It does make me a little nervous with how sharply he's hitting these balls. If it gets to one of those fielders right at him, it could turn 2.
Yeah, one of the few drawbacks of hitting the ball hard. The 0-2. Swings, drives it down the left field line into open space and down. That's a hit for Braden Rogers. 1 run scores. Haley comes across, rounding third. Landon Rogers for the plate. The throw is not in time. This game is tied. Braden Rogers, a bases clearing double, and it's 4-4 in the bottom of the 4th. Things are happening in Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. Landon Rogers boards on a walk, and Braden follows up with his biggest hit yet. 3 RBIs in 1 swing.
The turnaround. Let's go. The turnaround. Up and in. He loves to hit that pitch, and a lot of open space there in left field. Contagucci way off the play.
Yeah, he was shading right. Brings up Caleb Hanna's runner in scoring position. The pitch. He swings, pops it up behind first base. A lot of room for Barraza. Bermudez calls him off near the foul line and makes the grab. Rogers holds at second base. So after that pressure cooker chilling double for Matsu, Caleb Hanna's brings the temperature a little back to tepid with that fly out down the first base line. And that brings up Alex Thurston.
Here for number 6, second baseman Alex Thurston.
Last time up, Thurston struck out swinging. Hasn't exactly been your reliable RBI man for Matsu. Only 2 of those this season. Righty on the hill, righty at the dish. First pitch, he swings and fouls it off over the right side dugout. 2 away. Runner on second. The go-ahead run for Matsu on second base. And Braden Rogers, who tied the game with that 3-run double less than a couple minutes ago.
That was such a big hit. I'm still buzzing.
So is Braden. He's wearing a grin out at second. The pitch. Misses low and inside. That makes the count 1-1 for Thurston.
That Glacier Pilots dugout, by the way, gotta say, awfully quiet right now.
Oh man, they were loud to begin the game, and suddenly they've reeled it back in. The 1-1. Swung on, driven to left field, but right at Contagucci. It lands in front of him for a hit. Rogers stumbles over third and holds there. He's back safely, but Alex Thurston keeps the inning alive. An atom ball that just died in the wind. And that brings up the top of the order, Emilio Barreras. He's also the 9th batter of this inning.
Thurston doing his job. A little flare out there to left field in front of Taguchi. Love to see the bottom of the order pulling through.
Well, now it's up to the top of the order to back him up. Emilio Barreras He has been one of the most reliable hitters in this Matsu lineup at .273 batting average, not to mention the team lead and runs batted in with 9. He's got the go-ahead run on third. Another runner in Alex Thurston on first. That's Braden Rogers out on the third base bag. Lefty Barreras against the righty Oseguera. The pitch, called a strike, low and away. Landon Rogers was the only run that's been credited to Oseguera thus far. The first 3 this inning, all to Caden Copeland, who started this game. 4-4 the score, bottom of the fourth. The 0-1 misses just below the knees, ball 1. Barreras out of Grand Canyon University. Teammates during the NCAA season with Anchorage left fielder Kon Taguchi. 1-1 the count. The pitch. Hefty swing and miss. Oseguera fooled him with the breaking stuff, and it's a 1-2 count. So the Glacier Pilots 1 strike away from escaping this inning without surrendering the lead. Started out this frame up 4-0, but then a cavalcade of Miners hits battled back to make it a tie game. 1-2. In the dirt, Wathen dropped to one knee and covered up the 5-hole. 2-2 the count, 2 away. Runners on first and third for Matsu. Thurston the runner on first. Braden Rogers out on third. Emilio Barreras at the dish. He's 0 for 2 today. A fly out to left and a ground out to short. Ethan Oseguera, the arm on the hill, entered with a .385 earned run average. Throws over to first. Thurston back safely. Alex Thurston has not attempted a stolen base this season, although he had one in the exhibition affair yesterday where he got caught stealing by plenty. 2-2. Barreras swings and fends it off foul down the left field line. Keeps the count at 2-2. Braden Rogers, the runner out on third base. He has 2 stolen bases this year, but only one Matsu player has tried to steal home. That's Sebastian Tomerlin, 1 for 2 in that. Not playing today. 2-2. Barreras swings, hits the end of the bat, sprinkles out to short, gloved, throw across the diamond, and got him. Joey Wright makes an acrobatic play to go across his body to make the play at first, but not before all the damage is done. Matsu ties the game. It was 4-0 Glacier Pilots at the beginning of this frame, but then a monster comeback has this one even. When we come back, the top of the 5th inning awaits. 4-4 the score. I hope you didn't blink, because you might have missed a 4-run game-tying inning for the Miners. We come back here in the top of the 5th inning. Camden Daly still on the hill. Jesse Cook, Austin Barach still on the mic as well. 4-4 the score. Anchorage put up a 4-run frame to open up this affair in the first inning, but then the Miners, in the bottom half of the 4th inning, climbed back. A Wendy's 4 for 4, and that brings up Will Bermudez to lead off this inning. He was part of that first inning rally. Singled and scored. 1 for 2. First pitch to the lefty. Waits on a strike, low and away. Bermudez leading off. He's a 2-hitter in this lineup, followed by Blake Jackson and Nathan Barraza. He's got the only hits between those three, Bermudez does. 0-1 pitch, misses above the belt for a ball. Will Bermudez made his debut in the ABL on Wednesday against these Miners. 1-1. Swings, Dabs it out to second base. Thurston scoops it up and darts it to the bag in time. 1 up, 1 down to begin the top of the 5th, and that brings up the speedy center fielder Blake Jackson. This season, Jackson has only played 4 games, this being his 5th, but he's got a pretty good line thus far. .357 batting average, a 5 for 14 showing. First pitch to the lefty. Waits on a strike, low and inside. Jackson, of course, appeared against Matsu on Wednesday. The 0-1 swings, pops it up down the third base side, and foul. Way out of play. In that game on Wednesday, went 1 for 2, a pair of runs and a pair of hit by pitches to his credit. Also appeared on Monday. 0-2. Check swing up high, called a ball.
Good eye there by Jackson, but as we were talking about at the break, it's got to feel good for Cannon Daly to now have a new game ahead of him.
That's right. 1-2 pitch. Missed below the knees. Yeah, he started out somber and sultry because he allowed 4 runs in that first inning, including a big 3-run blast to Andrew Lamb, who doesn't hit a whole lot of home runs, doesn't have one at college level. 2-2. Misses up high, full count. Yeah, Lamb has not hit a home run at the college level, and he hit one off Daly here. And so that's definitely a confidence-shaking play. But now, it's all even up. 3-2 pitch. Called strike 3, low and away. Jackson just stands there. He can't believe it. He was ready to dart off to first base. He had the bat halfway out his hand, and then the umpire rung him up. 2 up, 2 down in the top of the 5th. And that brings up Nathan Barraza, and it just seems like he's always the bane of Matsu. The game-winning home run in the first leg of the doubleheader on Wednesday, also the save in these teams' first meeting.
0 for 1 today, though.
That's true. The pitch. He swings, pops it up, right side, and out of play.
And it's got to feel especially good now for Daly with his family in attendance. Got to meet Corey, Cash, and Shannon. Corey, the dad, taller than Cannon, taller than me. He's 6'8".
Wow. 0-1 pitch. Barraza swings and drives into left field, standing tall after that swing. He rounds first, but Stutter steps back after a quick relay. So 2 out, 1 on for Elijah Rodriguez. He's 0 for 2, but had that RBI fielder's choice his first time up.
That's the first base runner in a while here since, the second inning for Daly.
That's right. He had retired 9 straight. The pitch. Misses low and away for a ball. 1-0 the count to Rodriguez. This past season in the NCAA, pitch to Rodriguez. He checks swings, called a strike anyhow. In the NCAA, Rodriguez batted .283, 2 home runs, 27 RBIs, though, as well as 50 runs scored. Really showed off his speed with 25 stolen bases. Throw over to first. Tag is late. Barraza keeps it safe. 1-1 the count for Rodriguez. 2 away. Runner on first. Tie game, top of the 5th, 4-4. The pitch. Swings, pops it up behind third base. Caleb Hanna's in pursuit in foul territory, and he runs out of room. The count moves to 1-2 after that foul ball. Rodriguez attends McLennan Community College out near his home in Waco, Texas. 1-2 the count, runner on first. Daly fires, swings, and another foul pop out of play. Rodriguez has some championship blood in him. Was a member of the 2021 and 22 McLennan squads that claimed the North Texas Junior College Athletic Conference Championship. Back-to-back years. 1-2. Misses up high. And that McLennan team didn't stop there. They were the Junior College Region 5 champions in back-to-back seasons as well. Also on the academic team at a 3.4 GPA. as a team, not just Rodriguez.
wow,
That's the entire team.
Oh, we're smart.
2-2. High and away, ball 3.
This was Ben Affleck. It's not just my boy's wicked spot, but my boys are wicked smart for the whole team there at McLennan.
I'm not sure they talk like that in Texas, but sure. He
probably
knows how to pack the cow. Let's just say that. 3-2 pitch. Misses up high. Ball 4. And not what Camden Daly wants to see. After retiring the first 2 batters, he allows a hit and a 7-pitch walk.
Pretty sure I've jinxed him after deciding about how his fortunes have turned into good favor in front of his family.
Well, pitching coach Steve Hecker out to undo your jinx, I guess.
Let's hope.
Mound visit. Talk down Daly. Second time that Heck has made his way to the pitching rubber in this game. Obviously the first time this inning.
And this is important with the home run hitter back in the first inning, Andrew Lamb, set to enter the batter's box.
That's very true. Lamb, 1 for 2. He flied out last time, but you'll remember him for that big swing over the left field wall. 6th pitch he saw, he just drilled it. One of the hardest hit baseballs we've seen this season. Really a credit to Lamb. I mean, Daly throws the ball hard. We've seen him go mid-90s, which means that the ball comes off the bat way harder. But Lamb comes up to bat on the left side now. Runners on first and second, 2 away, 4-4 game. Daly comes set. Fires from the stretch. Misses low and away for a ball. Runners on first and second, 2 away. Umpire calls time. Daly was really taking a while between pitches there. Vinny Bianchi, a right-hander, warming up in the Matsu bullpen. He's made a few appearances in relief this season, 5 of them. 1-0. Misses below the knees. 2-0 count. Rather, Bianchi's made 7 appearances out of the bullpen. Most of any Matsu reliever. Daly, with a 2-0 count, fires home. Swung on, bounced right to Thurston at second. It eats him up, though. Recovers, throws to first. No, he held on to it. Runner going to the plate. Throw home! Couldn't get him! Nathan Barraza takes advantage of some fielding miscues and turns it back into an Anchorage lead, 5-4. Swiped from right under the Miners' noses, and it's 5-4 Glacier Pilots, 2 away here in the top of the 5th.
Third baseman number 12, Will Henson.
So the error at second base by Thurston brings home a run thanks to some aggressiveness. And now Will Henson at the dish. He's 0 for 2, a strikeout and a line out to third. The pitch. This is blown away. Double steal. Throw to third. Out by a country mile. One pitch after Nathan Barraza lights a fire under his team with a sneaky swipe of home. Steven Lancia retaliates, but it's up to the Matsu bats to do the damage. 2-3-4, just like last inning. Due up for Matsu, Invest, Lancia, and Haley. The Miners cobbled together 4 runs in the bottom of the 4th. Bottom of the 5th coming right up. We return for the bottom of the fifth inning in Palmer, Alaska. Jesse Cook with you alongside Austin Barach. 5-4, the Glacier Pilots lead, and the Anchorage team has a new pitcher on the hill. Ty Atkins, sidearm lefty from Kohala, Hawaii, goes to the University of Hawaii, rising senior there, making his fifth appearance of the season. Last three came at home against the Oilers, with another home appearance against the Bucks, so first time appearing on the road. And his first test is Cooper Vest, followed by Steven Lancia and Maddox Haley. Lefty-lefty matchup here. Atkins an earned run average of 279, 0-1 on the year. 9 2/3 innings pitched, 3 runs allowed. First pitch to Vest. Licks the lower inside corner for a strike on the fastball. Vest singled his last time up to incite that 4-run barrage. He's 1 for 2. Atkins fires, swings, and off the inside part of the bat, he fires it foul, so an 0-2 count.
That's a crazy release point from Atkins.
Well, we've seen it before just from the right side because Larry Westall is a minors reliever, sidearm. 0-2. Vest watches the slider up high for a ball.
Close call. And as a lefty batter, man, it's got to be difficult to read these pitches.
Well, they basically come from behind you. 1-2. Misses up high. Changeup couldn't catch the zone, and it's a 2-2 count. Atkins made 28 appearances during the NCAA season for Hawaii, 424 earned runner average then. 2-2. Misses way outside and away. Full count. So just as quickly as it was 0-2, it's up to full. Three-two pitch. Vest swings and misses. Jammed low and inside. 1 up, 1 down to begin the bottom of the fifth inning. And that brings up Steven Lancia, who has yet to be retired today. A single and a walk scored last time. The UT Rio Grande Valley product has been nothing short of a blessing to this Matsu lineup. Hottest hitter in the game, 9 for 13. Pitch. Swings, dribbles it to second base. It gets by Bermudez. It ate him up at the bag, and Lancia is safe at first. So what should have been an easy ground out turned into a disaster for Anchorage. Bermudez, who hasn't made an error this season, drops the ball quite literally. And Lancia is aboard with 1 away for Maddox Haley, who singled to right field last time up.
That was shockingly a very similar play to about real life 5 minutes ago with Alex Thurston. The hops keep coming, and there's a lot of backspin to the ball. Just eats him up at the glove when the ball makes contact with the mitt.
That's right. Something about the dirt over there. Atkins fires to Haley. Slider missed high and away. And you're right. It's very similar to that Thurston play where he bobbled the ball, and Nathan Barraza snuck around third, came home to score that 5th run for Anchorage. Has the game at 5-4. Glacier Pilots right now in the bottom of the 5th. Atkins comes set, he deals. Swung on, popped up, right of first base into foul territory, and out of play. 1-1 count for the San Diego State product.
And going back to that Lancia point, he entered with a .667 batting average, but the ABL listed Nick Costello as the league leader in batting average entering today. So, obviously, there's still some disrespect towards Steven Lancia.
Well, he doesn't have enough batting. He doesn't have enough at-bats yet.
Not in my book.
1-1. Swings and fouls it to the backstop. That's because in your book, you only have a couple games where Nick Costello played. So, in your book, they have roughly the same number of plate appearances.
No.
I think that's it.
I acknowledge Costello's played in enough games, but Lancia appeared in 5 games, 12 at-bats. That should be enough.
Not quite. Where are you getting your book from?
And he was 8 for 12 entering today.
That's correct. That's not enough at bats. The pitch. Haley swings, pops it up into shallow right field and foul territory. That one also out of play, so he stays alive. Maddox Haley's got enough at bats. He's played almost every day since the beginning of the season.
This is true.
Haley, he's batting at 277 and 47 at bats. That's a little more.
My book starts with 12 at bats. That's all you need to officially count. So Lancia made the cut, conveniently.
1-2 pitch. Swings, pops it up, shallow infield, third base side, and foul near the fence, and it runs out of play. Huck Wathen went sliding into the wall to try and grab it, but it was just barely out of reach.
Yeah, and third baseman Will Henson lost his hat in the process. He was running with vengeance towards that ball. Neither player able to get to it. And so Haley and his many at-bats lived to see another pitch.
That's right, but should be a warning sign for him that he's uppercutting, because that's back-to-back plays where he popped the ball up. If it weren't for some whippoorwill wind, he probably would have been out. Runner on first, one away. 1-run deficit, Matsu behind. Bottom of the fifth. Atkins deals sidearm, swung on and popped up first base side, foul territory. That one hooks out of play again.
Maddox Haley's just having fun with it. He's essentially tiring out the infielders.
Yeah, normally if you foul off a bunch of pitches, it's only the pitcher that gets tired out, but he's forcing Barraza at first, Henson at third, and Wathen behind the dish to chase down every ball. Lancia, the runner on first. He reached because of an error. The 1-2, Haley swings and misses. Atkins finally gets the better of him for strike three, and there's two away for Matsu with one on. That brings up Caden Carpenter, looking for his first hit of the day. 0 for 2 is he.
Number 38, Caden Carpenter.
The big lefty struck out looking last time up, grounded out to short before that. That led off the second inning. The pitch. Check swing, slider low and away, called a strike. Carpenter, third on the minors in strikeouts. 13 of them. Places him right behind Thurston and Sebastian Tomerlin. 0-1 pitch. Swung on, dribbled right back at the mound. Atkins picks it up, lobs it to first with time. He got him. Miners go down with no hits, reach on an error in the bottom of the fifth inning. Score remains 5-4 Glacier Pilots. We move on to the sixth inning. The 7, 8, 9 hitters due up for Anchorage, and Will Henson, Huck Wathen, and Joey Wright. Hits for the latter two. We'll have that in just a moment. But we're going to keep it here to break down today's Pickaxe Pickle. So, Alaska recently, 4 years ago, celebrated its 60th year of statehood, entered in 1959, and that Major League season featured a weird absence of a baseball oddity. What achievement, which occurred at least once in every year from 1950 to 1981, that's 84 times that happened between those years, what occurred every season between 1950 and 1981 except for in 1959? We'll have your answer during the seventh inning stretch, so stay tuned for that. New pitcher in the game for Matsu, Vinny Bianchi, the right-hander out of St. John's, recently let us know that he's transferring for grad school to Notre Dame. Doesn't know if he'll play baseball there yet, but he knows academically he'll look to the Fighting Irish for his courses. He's appeared in more games than any other pitcher for the minors. 7 appearances, 8 2/3 innings thrown, 1-1 record with a hold to add to that. Earned run average for Vinny at 2.08 and a whip of 1.38. Struck out 8 batters. 6 hits allowed thus far this season. 3 runs, 2 of which were earned. He's walked 6 and hit 1. That strikeout to walk ratio sitting fairly even, 1.33 strikeouts to walks. So he's got Henson, Huck Wathen, and Joey Wright. Wathen and Wright each have a hit today. Both of those came in the second inning. Will Henson 0 for 2. He was up when last inning ended. A double steal had Elijah Rodriguez caught trying to swipe third for out number 3. Henson bats from the right side. Struck out swinging last time up. Lined out to third in the first inning. First pitch from Bianchi. Low and away for a ball. Bianchi replaced Camden Daly. 1-0 pitch. Swings and corkscrews it foul off to the right side. Daly went 5 innings, allowed 5 runs, 4 of which were earned. Allowed 6 hits in that time. 1-1. Check swing, curveball swept low and away for a ball. Daly ended up striking out 3 batters. 2-1. Swings, pops it up. Shallow right center field. Maddox Haley calls everyone off. Runs in for the play. The wind carried it back over to his left, but was no matter for the sled dog. 1 up, 1 down in the top of the 6th. So Wathen coming to the dish now. The catcher had his work cut out for him on defense. Defended against a couple wild pitches, would-be wild pitches. But his bat has been productive today. First pitch, he swings, fires it foul down the left field line. Wathen 1 for 2. Wouldn't sound too spectacular, but as we've noted before in this broadcast, his first hit of the season came on the infield dirt to Barreras at short. 0-1 pitch flies in for a strike. 0-2 count, Bianchi ahead.
Stung that inner corner. Bianchi dealing.
That's right. 0-2 misses up high. And Vinny has appeared against every team in the ABL except the Glacier Pilots, so he's now rounded out the league. 1-2. Swung on and fouled to the backstop off the inside part of the bat.
Bianchi peppering that inside corner to Wathen. I guess he doesn't think that Wathen can hit those pitches.
Well, he's fouled off every pitch, it seems, to the left side. 1-2. Slider missed low and away. That hit came on an outside pitch. He got the end of the bat on it and just dribbled it slowly on this long infield grass. 2-2. Swung on, lipped off the end of the bat to center field. Carpenter there for the grab. 2 away for the 9-hitter. Nobody on base for Anchorage here in the top of the 6th. Joey Wright at the dish. And back to that long infield grass. It was mowed this morning, but even GM Pete Christopher said that he likes to keep it long. 2 away, base is empty. First pitch to the righty. He watches a ball low and away. How convenient that Joey Wright bats from the right side. But I'm bumped.
If Joey left, that would be a mess.
1-0. Check swing. That pitch was near where he would be if he was Joey left. Outside and low away.
Joey left just sounds, well, wrong. Slightly less.
I see what you did there. 2-0. Bianchi paints the lower outside corner with a slider, and it's a 2-1 count.
Pitch looked very similar to the first pitch of this at bat. I think the home plate umpire just didn't want another ball called.
2-1. Check swing. Another slider low and away. Deferred to the first base umpire. He says he went around. 2-2 count. Joey Wright is Joey wrong.
Hopefully he'll be Joey very wrong right here.
So Joey Wright, Joey wrong. The 2-2 pitch from Bianchi misses high and inside. Joey passive.
Joey good eye.
Can you name the only pitcher that I can think of in recent memory whose name is an adjective? Cliff Lee. 3-2 from Bianchi. Wright swings and drives it up the middle. He got off on the right foot with a base hit to center field.
Oh, boy.
Now it brings up the top of the order. And we're going to stop this right here. That's it. No more of the Joey Wright buns.
I heard that we just lost all of our viewers, so we apologize.
Well, with this new batter, they said, so you don't want us making Joey Wright puns? Well, yes, we can.
Oh, God.
Con Taguchi at the plate.
Oh, boy.
Bat from the left side. The pitch. Fastball right down Broadway for strike one. You like that?
I guess so. I guess so. A in creativity, yep.
So I'm Joey Wright. 0-1. Misses low and away. I mean, if you're a fan of Breaking Bad, I kind of have the perfect name for that, as from a pun standpoint. I cannot tell you if my middle name is or is not. We need to, but Jesse and Cook. Well, you take it from there. 1-1 to Taguchi. Called a strike low and away. Changeup had him staring.
I guess if I already did a Ben Affleck impression, I guess I could do a Walter White impression. I don't know, though. I don't know.
Jesse!
I'm pretty wary.
1-2 count. Bianchi fires, runner off for second, low and away, called the ball, throw to the bag, skips up into center field, but Wright holds at second base. 2-2 for Taguchi with a man in scoring position. Glacier Pilots lead 5-4, 2 away, top of the sixth inning. You know, my old roommate, he would only refer to me by going, Jesse, we need to figure out our rent agreement. 2-2. Swung on, bounced off the pitcher's mound, right to Barreras at short. He scoops and fires to first. So a hectic frame as far as balls in play and runners off for second ends without a tally from Anchorage. 5-4 the score, heading to the bottom of the sixth. Matsu has the 6, 7, 8 batters due up, and Landon Rogers, Braden Rogers, and Caleb Hanna's. Austin, we need to move on. I don't know who that was calling the game last inning, but clearly that was some very silly people that couldn't do it for the bottom of the sixth. So we're back, bottom of the sixth inning, 5-4 Glacier Pilots. Ty Atkins still on the hill. The sidearm lefty out of Hawaii has Landon Rogers, Braden Rogers, and Caleb Hanna's due up this inning. 6, 7, 8 for Matsu. Landon at the dish, batting from the right side. 0 for 1. First pitch. Waits on a ball low and inside. Reached on a walk last time up and scored. Came around thanks to the Braden Rogers bases clearing double. 1-0. Watches a fastball at the knees for strike one. Rogers, he's been productive against Anchorage. On Wednesday, his last 2 at-bats of Game 2 cobbled together a pair of hits and 3 RBIs. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Behind another fastball. 1-2 count. Rogers, 5 for 11 against Anchorage pitching this season. 1-2, fires home. Called strike 3, another fastball low and away. Rogers tapped home plate a couple times and gave the umpire the evil eye walking back to the dugout, but nevertheless, bases empty with 1 away here in the bottom of the 6th for Braden Rogers.
Tough call. Tough call.
That's the second strikeout for Atkins. First one came to Cooper Vest on a swing. Braden Rogers struck out swinging his first time up back in the second. First one to him. Missed up high. 1-0. Braden Rogers, that double last time up was something to watch. Fouled off a pair of two-strike pitches. Didn't see a ball. 4 straight hittable pitches. Deals, swings, pops it up, first base side, foul ground towards the Miners bench, and caught. Barraza on the warning track, came down to a knee to make the grab. 2 up, 2 down, bottom of the 6th, brings up Caleb Hannes. He's searching for a hit, 0 for 2, fly out to right, and a pop out to second.
Number 7, your third baseman, Caleb Hannes.
Hannes bats from the right side. Entered this game batting just 182. First pitch his way. Called a strike, lone away. Atkins loving his two-seamer. Third time he's thrown it this inning. 0-2. Missed, lone away. Tried that same two-seamer backdoor, but it didn't work.
And look at where Blake Jackson is playing. Super shallow right center field. A huge gap in left center.
That's right. 1-1. Swung on, roped down the first base line, but just foul. Hanna is not exactly one to pull the ball. Sure, he did on his home run yesterday in that exhibition affair with the Monarchs, but most of the time, grounds out off to that first base side or pops out. Both of his outs today went out towards right or second base. Right in no man's land. 1-2. Well, that one doesn't go into right field. Swing and a miss. 1-2-3 go the Miners. So, with the exception of that huge 4th inning where the Miners tied the game at 4-4 with that quartet of runs, it's been all silent for Matsu, who now trails 5-4. We move on to the last third of baseball. 7th inning coming up. 5-4 Glacier Pilots. When we come back, it's the 2-3-4 hitters for Anchorage and Will Bermudez, Blake Jackson, and Nathan Barraza. Vinny Bianchi still on the hill. Stay tuned.
Back in the top of the 7th inning, the Miners trail 5-4 alongside Jesse Cook. I'm Austin Barach. 2-3-4 due up for the road team. Bermudez, then Jackson, then Barraza. The righty pitches to the lefty batter. He swings and misses for strike 1. Bianchi out of the windup, glove above the face. The pitch loops in for a strike at just above the belt. Quickly, 0-2. Bianchi likes to work quick at a quick 1-2-3, 6th inning. The pitch runs outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes to Bermudez, who today is 1 for 3, single in the first, fly out to center in the second, and ground out to Thurston, the second baseman, in the 5th. The 1-2. Breaking ball catches the outside corner, strike 3, got him looking 1 down in the 7th. So after that punch out, Blake Jackson enters the lefty batter's box. He struck out looking back in the 5th, walked in second, flew out to center in the 1st. 1 for 2 day for him so far. He checks his swing, takes a pitch in the dirt for ball 1. the 1-0 offering. Outside ball 2. Third baseman Caleb Hanna's playing far off of that third base, probably about 15 to 20 feet away from the bag. Now shifting even more towards second base. The 2-0 drifts in there for a strike down the heart of the plate, 2-1. Outfield playing straight up. Caden Carpenter pretty much directly behind second base as the center fielder. The 2-1 just below the knees for a ball. 3-1 the count to the 3-hitter for the Glacier Pilots. The pitch outside ball 4. Jackson works his second walk of the game, and there's a man aboard with 1 out in the 7th.
Nathan Barraza, dangerous player, singled last time up and scored with that heady act of base running savvy. Came around from second on an error in the infield.
That's right. He had that base hit in the 5th. He has yet to have more than 1 hit in a game against Matsu so far this season in his previous 4 games. The pitch swoops in for a strike as Barraza kind of shifted his weight outside the box, leaving a very wide area for the pitch to come through with. The Yankees 0-1. Runner goes. Pitch is swung on, hit into left center field. Carpenter is there, makes the grab, and Jackson has to trot back to first base with 2 outs.
Caden Carpenter, a really strong guy to have in center field because his range as a runner is just so far and wide. Really covers a lot of ground out there. Haven't seen someone really hit the ball over him yet while he's in center.
Here is Elijah Rodriguez. He has 4 doubles, so he has the power. No home runs, though, so far this season. And Carpenter's playing rather in. The pitch swung on, hit to the second baseman. Thurston fields it at the ankles and throws on a first in time and on target for the 3rd out. We've hit the 7th inning stretch, and we will stay here for the trivia.
That's right. So, our pickaxe pickle today, Alaska entered the Union in 1959, became the 49th state. Well, that 59 Major League Baseball season featured a lack of what notable baseball oddity that occurred at least once in every year between 1950 and 1981, with the exception of 1959. Got any guesses?
I'm going to go with a no-hitter.
No-hitter, that's your guess. Final answer?
You smirked there, so I think I might be onto something.
Did you, look at the cards beforehand? Yes, it's a no-hitter.
There we go.
For the only time in those 32 years, there was no no-hitter in 1959. Also had an oddity that has only occurred 4 times in the majors before those 2 leagues split into their 3 divisions, which is a tie for the pennant that required a 3-game playoff series. That was before we had the American and National League Championship Series. But no no-hitters in 1959.
Incredible. I mean, yeah, my thinking was basically, if it happens in most seasons, it can't be as rare as a perfect game. So what else? Okay, a no-hitter. That sounds about right. So there we go. In a bat, to lead off in the bottom of the 7th for the Miners is Alex Thurston, who just made that play at second base. Then the top of the order, Emilio Barreras, followed by Cooper Vest. So 9-1-2. Thurston struck out in the 3rd, singled in the 4th. He's now 1 for 10 on the season against the blue team from Anchorage. The pitch swung on and fouled back to the backstop, 0-1. Ty Atkins still out there, out of Hawaii for the road team. He's been hurling. Caden Copeland started the game, went 3 1/3. Then Ethan Osagara went 2/3 of an inning. It's been Atkins ever since. The 0-1. Driven, center field. Jackson went back, now darts forward, and makes the catch for out number 1.
Positive sign for Alex Thurston that he's hitting the ball hard. He had that single earlier in the 4th inning. just that one an atom ball.
Here's Barreras. Flew out in the first, then grounded out to short in both the third and the fourth innings. The pitch, inside and low, ball one. The lefty out of the stretch kicks and deals, and it drifts away from the plate. 2 balls, no strikes to Barreras. The 2-0 swung on, dribbler to the third baseman. That's Henson. He bobbles it, throws on a first, and still gets Barreras by half a step. And like that, there are 2 gone in the 7th.
Simply a product of Barreras putting that ball more towards second base. It just gave Henson like a half second more to get the ball to the base. That one goes more opposite field, more down the third base side, and Barreras is aboard.
So here's Vest, struck out twice so far today. Ropes a single, though, in a shallow center field. That's down. His second base hit into center field today. He's 2 for 4, and it's not over yet. Here comes the big hitter, Steven Lancia.
Tying run on first base and a fast guy like Vest. Now you've got Lancia at the dish, who's who was on the best streak of anyone in the ABL.
Lancia singled in the first, walked in the fourth, and reached on an error in the 5th. He's been great so far this young season for Matsu. The pitch, inside and low, ball one. So Atkins, out of Hawaii, had an 18.69 ERA this season in 8 appearances, 8 2/3 innings. His 1-0 to Lancia runs high and inside, ball 2, 2-0. So Atkins, after a couple of strong innings, has to work out of this right here. 2 balls, no strikes, 1 on, 2 outs. The pitch. Checks his swing, takes a strike, hitting the inside corner. 2-1. Atkins at Hawaii did give up 1 home run this season that came on May 20th at CSUN. CSUN. The 2-1 will have to wait. Vest slides back safely on the head first after the pickoff attempt. So Atkins has given up the long ball, and as we've seen, Lancia, no stranger to hitting long balls himself. Homered last week, nearly had another yesterday in the exhibition. Atkins 2-1, outside, 3-1. Lancia at UT Rio Grande Valley this season clobbered 7 dingers. The 3-1. In there on the outer part of the plate. It's now a full count.
Well, that means Vest is going to be running with the pitch. So anything Lancia can put on the ground in the outfield should at least get him to third.
Lancia has a great eye. Only 1 strikeout so far this season for him. The payoff pitch. Swung on and fouled back out of play. Pilots lead the Miners 5-4. Here in the bottom of the 7th. 1 on, and Vest at first base with 2 outs. This might be Lancia's last at-bat today. The payoff pitch again. Swung on to the shortstop. Wright throws on a first base in time for out number 3. After 7 innings, Pilots lead the Miners 5-4.
The Glacier Pilots clinging to a 1-run lead as we arrive in the top of the 8th inning. Alongside Jesse Cook on Moss and Barach, 6, 7, 8 due up for Anchorage. Andrew Lamb, then Will Henson, then Huck Wathen. Lamb up first. You remember him from that 3-run shot all the way back in the first inning. Bianchi quickly pitches, runs in, nearly hits him, and it actually does. The umpire made the signal. Lamb knew it right away, and he's aboard with no outs.
Yeah, automatic for Lamb. That came inside, he felt it graze his elbow, and immediately, without any drama, tossed the bat aside. Tyler Brunn doesn't like it. He's talking to the home plate umpire about that. But from our vantage point, it certainly, if it didn't look like it hit Lamb, Lamb certainly seemed sure of it.
Lamb seemed sure of it. The confusion is that there at least I didn't hear any kind of sound of the ball hitting Lamb, but nonetheless, he is at first base with Will Henson up to bat. The pitch. Called a strike on the outside corner. Henson lined out in the first, struck out swinging in the third, and flew out to Maddox Haley, the right fielder, in the 6th. He is 0 for 3 today. Bianchi's 0-1. Tails away. 1-1.
Now back for the Pilots number 9, Andrew Nicola.
Bianchi's 1-1. Curves, but not enough on the front door for a ball. And pardon me, but Will Henson has been replaced here as a pinch hitter by Andrew Nikolic. So Nikolic facing the 2-1. The pitch swoops in on the outside corner for strike 2. 2-2 the count. One on, nobody out. Glacier Pilots lead 5-4 in the top of the 8th. Bianchi's 2-2. Breaking ball fouled up, out of play. Nikolic batting .325 this season, 13 hits in 40 at-bats. Also has 3 RBIs this season and 4 doubles, so he has that extra base hit kind of power. The 2-2, breaking ball once again, and once again lifted up and out of play. So we'll do this 2-2 tango once more.
Seen that dance before.
Oh, yeah.
Common one. Nicola he's a little bit shaken up because that pitch came off an awkward part of the bat, so those vibrations really shook his front left hand.
Definitely. The 2-2. Bianchi says, "Let me have this dance." Nikolic goes down swinging, and there's one away.
Let's just say, if it's a dance, Vinny Bianchi's taking the lead in the tango.
Catcher number 10, Huck Wathen.
So here's Huck Wathen. You've heard his name a lot today. Good job as a catcher behind the plate. Got his first base hit of the season back in the 2nd on a dribbler out to short. The runner fakes it going, and Wathen swings through a strike. Bianchi checks on the runner, Lamb at first. Head first slide safe. Alex Thurston shading toward second base. Appears that he would be the cover man for a potential steal. Lamb, by the way, 0 stolen bases and 0 attempts this season as Wathen swings and lifts one out of play, down in the count 0-2. Bianchi shakes off a pitch. Checks Lamb at first. Resets. Out of the stretch. The 0-2. Swing. And another shot out of play. 0-2 the count. Outfield playing straight up.
Bianchi. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Bianchi has fanned back-to-back Glacier Pilots. 2 gone.
Heck of an outing thus far for Vinny. Coming up on his 11th on his 11th batter. Just 2 hits. Rather, 1 hit. No runs yet.
The pitch, blown away to Joey Wright. He is 2 for 3 today as the 9-hitter. A pair of singles, also grounded out. He entered this contest at 333, 2 for 6, so that's up to 4 for 9, a 444 batting average. The pitch checks his swing, but called a strike on the outside corner. 1-1 the count.
Some quick math out of you, Austin.
Yeah, I can do
That's
my.
correct.
I can kind of
That's
do my
correct.
9s, right? 1 for 9 is 1. 1-1-1. 2 for 9, 2-2-2, and etc. The 1-1 here breaks on a front door curveball for a strike on the inner part of the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 1 on in a 1-run game in favor of the road team.
You know the exception to the rule of 9s. 9.
It's true.
It's not 9.99. It's just 100. It's just 1.
Vinny looking for another strikeout. The pitch, swinging a line drive foul back out of play.
We're out here cracking down the world's most challenging math problems. This actually isn't the Matsu Miners. It's Mythbusters.
I signed up for a summer of math. Boy, did I choose the wrong thing to
How
do.
tall is that mountain? How tall is Pioneer Peak?
6,000 feet. Bianchi.
jeez.
The pitch. Swing and a soft line drive right at Maddox Haley in right field. He puts it out. And Vinny Bianchi has another scoreless frame. We head to the bottom half of the 8th inning. The Pilots clinging to a 1-run lead. Cole Clark, seeing his first action in 8 days, the relief pitcher for Anchorage, enters today's contest with a 2.57 ERA after Copeland started. Osagara pitched 2/3 of an inning, and Ty Atkins has gone the rest here in the bottom of the 8th. Clark set to face 4-5-6 for Matsu, Maddox Haley, Caden Carpenter, and Landon Rogers.
Maddox Haley, 1 for 3. He had that hit back in the 4th inning, later scored. Good stuff from him today. Could use a little more from Carpenter and Rogers, though. A combined 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts between them. Cole Clark, that new pitcher, he's out of Loyola Marymount. 7th time that we're seeing him this season pitch for the Glacier Pilots. 3rd time against the Miners.
Yes, 3rd time against the Miners. He went 3 innings in each of the first 2 contests, earned the win both of those times. Back on June 8th and June 10th, but remember that June 10th game was resumed last Wednesday. Here's Maddox Haley working on a 1 for 3 outing. The pitch. Swings, chopper, third base side. Henson scoops it up. Crow hops, fires on a first in time for the first out of the 8th.
Solid work by Henson. He started that play back behind third, charged on the ball, and had that built-in momentum to nab Haley. And I guess if you're Clark, you don't want a 3rd win here because that means that he gives up a run to the Miners in this inning.
That would be right. That would be right. Clark working out of that windup, facing Caden Carpenter, the big lefty out of Utah. Takes strike one on the breaking ball. He is 0 for 3 today. A pair of groundouts and a strikeout looking in the fourth. And just like we've seen in every one of his at-bats, the shortstop for Anchorage, right, playing right at that second base on the shift. The pitch in the dirt for a ball. I know the shift, you can't go on the other side of the bag, but right is really towing that line. And Carpenter likes to ground out up the middle. Already grounded out to right once back in the second. The pitch doesn't go around. Lays off the off-speed. 2 balls, 1 strike. Carpenter here in a 1-run deficit. Homered back a few weeks ago. June 8th versus these Pilots. The pitch in and low for a ball.
You don't want to put him on base if you're Anchorage. He's fast. A pair of stolen bases this season for Caden Carpenter.
Clark's 3-1. Tails outside and low. Ball 4, and Carpenter works his 12th walk of the season.
You can talk about all those strikeouts for Carpenter, but he does know how to get on base. Pitch selection could be a little bit better with those strikeouts. A few he should lay off, but he sees a lot of pitches thrown outside the zone because he's a very intimidating bat and he knows how to pull the ball.
So here's Landon Rogers, 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts looking. Takes a pitch, blown away in the dirt for a ball. Rogers also walked back in the fourth inning. Would it be a crucial time for him to come through? Again, he's 5 for 11 against the Pilots entering today. 5 of his 6 hits overall against this team. The 1-0 swings on a half-hearted attempt and takes the strike. 1-1 the count. 1 on, 1 out, 1 ball and 1 strike to Landon Rogers in a 1-run game. The road team up on the good guys, 5-4. Ump calls for time, and so Rogers resets, puts the bat between his left arm and his chest, recollects it in those blue batting gloves, and gets set to face Cole Clark. The righty out of the stretch. Deals to home. The pitch outside and low once more. 2 balls and 1 strike. There was a game in the first, I believe, week of the season, might have been the second week. These games kind of blend together where the Miners went down early, came back, went down again, and came back. It'll be the second time they do that this season. The pitch called a strike on the inner half of the plate on the curveball, 2-2. Of course, last Wednesday, that huge comeback, that was all in 1 swoop, though. They got, after they took the lead, they never lost the lead. Miners have never led so far today. Did tie it up at 4-4 at one point. Swing, and that finds a gap. Landon Rogers goes opposite field between the first baseman and the second baseman, and there are runners at first and second base with 1 out.
Austin, what did I say? You need production from Caden Carpenter and Landon Rogers this inning. They were a combined 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts when this inning started. Now both of them reach base.
So this brings up the right-hand batter, Braden Rogers. And there's a little tingle in the air. The crowd's clapping for him. He had that 3-run double back in the 4th inning. Clobbered a home run against these guys last Wednesday to spark the comeback. The pitch swung on Trickler, but out of play down the first base line. 0-1 the count.
Well, Braden Rogers has really turned a corner because he's gotten much better at fending off high inside fastballs. Had a lot of problems with that early in the season, but his home run and his double, both of those against the Glacier Pilots in these last 2 meetings, both of them came on pitches high and inside.
Clark swivels his head, checks Carpenter at second, fires home, and it plunks Rogers in the left arm.
I guess you could call that high and in.
Braden is aboard, and for the 3rd time today for Matsu, the bases are loaded.
Not the first time that Caleb Hannes has come into a situation with runners in scoring position. Didn't bring home Rogers from second base back in the 4th inning. Now he's got an opportunity. Anything to the outfield should tie this game with the speed of Caden Carpenter on third.
Hannes today 0 for 3 with a flyout in the 3rd. Clark's first pitch to him is swung on, popped up but out of play for strike 1.
Most important thing for Hannes here is don't put it on the ground, because more often than not, it's going to go to a fielder, and they'll turn two.
Barraza, the first baseman, playing on the edge of the grass. The pitch. Swung on. Roped in the shallow left field. Contagucci won't get there. Carpenter scores from third base. An RBI single has tied up this game. The runners go from station to station. It's 5-5.
Caleb Hannes doing exactly what you need from him. You need him to put the ball in the air, and not only does he avoid an out with this play, avoid a double play, but he puts the ball on the ground on a rope, brings home a run. The only problem with that is that he hit it so hard that it couldn't herald a run from second.
He was nearly caught by Taguchi, but Clark, after suffering that earned run, his outing is over. The Glacier Pilots will move to a fifth pitcher this game. We'll wait for the new guy to warm up here in a tie ball game in the 8th inning. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Don't worry, you haven't missed anything. Max Martin, the 5th arm of the game for the road team, enters in a bases-loaded, one-out situation. Caleb Hannes' single just tied this game, and Alex Thurston, the 9-man, is up to the dish. Martin, at 6'5" out of UC Irvine, made his ABL debut on Saturday against the Chinooks. Went 1 inning with 1 hit, suffering 0 earned runs. Struck out 2 batters. Infield in. Thurston looks at the ball down and away. 1-0 the count to him. Thurston today, 1 for 3. Struck out swinging in the 3rd, singled in the 4th, and flew out to center field in the 7th. A long flyout would prompt a sacrifice fly. Ace Whitehead, by the way, is a pinch runner at 3rd base. The pitch swung on and fouled back out of play. The count evens up at 1 apiece. So Hannes at first base, Braden Rogers at second base. The go-ahead run is 90 feet away in the speedster Ace Whitehead out of Texas. The pitch downstairs around Sauk level. 2 balls and 1 strike to Thurston.
Martin has yet to walk a batter this season. That 1 inning at the Chinooks, no walks.
The 2-1 swung on and missed. The breaking ball fooled Thurston. The count evens up 2-2. Thurston entered today batting 161. Did not have a hit before today against these Pilots. That single back in the fourth has him at 1 for 11 against this team this season. The 2-2 swung on, roped past the third baseman Henson. Whitehead scores from third base. The runners hold. And Alex Thurston scores the go-ahead run on that single in the left field. The Miners lead 6-5.
Well, the problems coming into today for Matsu started and ended with runners stranded in scoring position, and the Miners have delivered thus far in this game. First time they lead.
That's right. Down, then tied, then down again, and now with the lead. Barreras, the leadoff man. All the infield is playing in on the grass. The pitch in the dirt. Scoots by Wathen. Here comes Braden Rogers. It's a 7-5 game. Martin's wild pitch lets another run cross home plate. And it's a 1-0 count to Barreras. Both of the other runners moved up a bag. Hannes on third, Thurston on second. The infield remains in. Martin's 1-0. Swung on, looped into center field. Back is Jackson. Hannes tags. He's going for home plate. The throw won't get there in time. Hannes with the head first slide is safe. And the lead grows to 8-5. Good, guys.
Heck of a time to be a Matsu Miner, and a really bad era for the Anchorage Bucks. Allowed that 5-run comeback on Wednesday, was up 4-0 here, now down 8-5.
So here's Cooper Vest with his family in attendance. Thurston remains on second base. There are 2 outs now, but the Miners lead by 3 runs. Thurston is actually caught in a pickle in the pickoff attempt. He's out. Martin's slick move gets Thurston out at second base, but not after 4 Miners score here in the bottom of the 8th. The Miners come roaring back and now lead 8-5 as we head to the top of the 9th inning, and the closer, Will Rizzo, is jogging in. We'll have the top of the 9th in just a few minutes. After a triumphant 4-run bottom of the 8th, Matsu leads 8-5 here in the top of the 9th in Palmer, Alaska. Alongside Jesse Cook, I'm Austin Barach. And Jesse, we now have the pleasure of watching Nebraska's Will Rizzo, the closer, with a 0.00 ERA, attempt for another save.
That's right. Rizzo this season has been spelled P-E-R-F-E-C-T. 3 for 3 in save opportunities. Perfect.
Now, Rizzo has walked at least one batter in every outing, given up a couple hits as well, but so far nobody has scored against number 20 in the green and gold. He is set to face the top of the order. Taguchi, Will Bermudez, and Blake Jackson. Taguchi today, 1 for 3 after entering today's contest, batting .400. Rizzo's first pitch. In there on the inside corner, strike one. Not quite his heat. Caught Taguchi maybe a little bit off guard. Out of the windup. He kicks and deals. The heat slices to left field on the fly out, but Rogers turns around and makes the grab for out number 1 in the ninth. Will Bermudez slides into the lefty batter's box, singled in the first, flew out in the second, grounded out in the fifth, and struck out looking in the seventh. So he is 1 for 4 so far today. Rizzo's 0-0. Breaking ball misses outside, ball 1. Bermudez has 2 doubles and a triple so far this season. Made his debut last Wednesday. The pitch, in and low. Ball 2. Fielders playing straight up for Bermudez. The 2-0 pitch. Breaking ball in there for a strike just above the knees. 2-1. Rizzo wiggles his body a little bit. Now kicks and deals. Backdoor curveball, not enough. 3-1 off the edge of the plate.
Mentioned 1 walk in every outing. 8 walks dealt by Rizzo this season.
The 3-1. Catches the outside corner. Full count. Rizzo has 5 strikeouts in his last 2 outings. Last played on the 21st against these Pilots. The pitch swung on and ground ball off the first base line out of play.
Well, that last outing, his most recent save, also had 1 against the Bucks a week ago Sunday, and another the Friday before that at Chugiak.
Rizzo's payoff pitch is taken for ball 4. The fastball just misses, and Bermudez does his sprint to first base on the base on balls. So here's Blake Jackson. And it's a 3-run lead for Matsu. So Jackson doesn't even represent the game-tying run here with 1 out and 1 on in the top of the 9th.
Yeah, you need to get to Nathan Barraza if you're Anchorage. Double play would end the game.
Jackson is 0 for 2 today with a pair of walks. The pitch. Strike 1 on the inside corner. Rizzo takes a big, deep breath, resets out of the stretch. The pitch. Breaking ball, clobbered into deep right field. That ball is up, but it tails foul to the right of the 322 marker in right field. So a long foul ball puts the Scout at 0 balls and 2 strikes.
That's the longest foul ball you can get. That would have been a home run had the wind not been carrying just a hair to the right.
So Rizzo promptly walks off the mound to reset himself after what was nearly a home run, a 2-run homer. The Cornhusker, the 0-2. Gets him on the outside corner. Jackson can't believe it, but the Glacier Pilots are now down to their final out.
Back-to-back games in which Anchorage led by 4 or more runs, and it's back-to-back times where Matsu came back. It's just the matter of will it be back-to-back times that the Miners held that lead.
That's right. Nathan Barraza, the first baseman, steps into the righty batter's box. Righty on the mound, righty at the dish. 2 outs, 1 on, and an 8-5 top of the 9th in favor of the home team. Pitch 1 is blown away, ball 1. Barraza today, 2 flyouts, a single, and a walk, so he's 1 for 3. Enter today, batting .259. The runner on first is just moot for Rizzo right now. The 1-0. In the dirt, skips past Lancia. Bermudez takes second base and will hold up right there. So the wild pitch puts a runner in scoring position. But again, the Glacier Pilots need 3 runs to tie the game.
Yeah, if you're Rizzo, you don't even notice that you've got Bermudez on base. That doesn't matter to you. Rizzo is thinking only about Nathan Barraza. He's someone who really stays in the moment. You see that with the energy he enters the game showing. Running onto the hill, screaming about it, usually jarring back and forth with the other team.
After that wild pitch, there's a talk between Rizzo and Lancia and Vest, and right now Barraza is actually being checked on. Actually, the home plate umpire is being checked on, flexing that right hand.
That's right, the team trainer talking to him. Looks like the ball might have glanced off his elbow, and he's feeling a little pain there. Both the base umpires are laughing it up, so can't be too serious, but the umpires are considered part of the field, and we sort of take that for granted, that these guys are directly in the line of fire at all times without anything protecting them, unless you're the home plate umpire where you got a chest protector and a mask. Not to mention shin guards, but nothing protecting the arms.
Cheers ring here at Herman Brothers Field as the ump appears to be okay. And walks back to his position behind Lancia at home plate. We reset. 2 outs, 1 on. Rizzo to Barraza in a 2-ball, 0-strike count. The Miners lead 8-5 after that 4-run rally in the bottom of the 8th. Rizzo's 2-0, outside, blocked by Lancia. Bermudez does not advance. The count, though, is 3-0.
Well, here's where you have to be careful if you're Rizzo. I mean, Lancia goes stack pads to stop that ball, but now, 3-0 count, you put Barraza on, and Elijah Rodriguez, who bats up near 400, represents the tying run, who stands on deck.
It's true. The 3-0. Ball in the dirt, and Rizzo has walked Barraza. The game-tying run is at home plate in Elijah Rodriguez.
Well, now you want to throw the ball low to Rodriguez. You already gave up a would-be home run earlier if it weren't for the wind gusting the ball foul. So keep the ball low on Rodriguez, put it on the ground. Anything in the air is really going to carry and might fall in a gap.
2 on, 2 outs. The pitch to Rodriguez. Floats in for a strike. 0-1 the count. Rodriguez today, no hits. 0 for 3, does have an RBI on a ground out back in the first inning. That feels like forever ago. The 0-1, swung on, back up the middle, ground ball. Barreras fields it, steps on the bag, and that's it. That's the ball game. The Miners win 8-5. The comeback kids stun the Glacier Pilots for the second time in 5 days. Matt Sue is above 500 and has won back-to-back games against the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. What a massive come-from-behind win for the home team.
You need him however you can get him. But someone who has been so reliable for Matt Sue, not just Will Rizzo, those 0 earned runs coming into play with his 4th save and 4 save opportunities, but Vinny Bianchi out of the bullpen. How huge were those 3 scoreless innings that he dealt? 1 hit for Bianchi. There's your unsung hero of the game. His 8th appearance of the season. No one has shown out as many times as Bianchi this season. He comes out of the bullpen and helps his team ensure the win, but also the offense stepping up. This team averages stranding 5+ runners in scoring position every single game. Austin, that number today, just 2. Really just 1, because Thurston was picked off with second. 1 man stranded in scoring position for Matt Sue.
Incredible. Incredible. These last 2 games against the Glacier Pilots have been in limbo. And today, after that three-run blast off the bat of Andrew Lamb in the first inning against the starter Cannondale, you thought, hey, is it going to be one of those games again? Another kind of uninspiring loss? Nope. The Miners come back, tied up in the fourth, lose the lead again off of an error, and then reach back for a 4-run eighth inning where you had Landon Rogers a single, Caleb Hanna's an RBI single, Alex Thurston an RBI single, Barreras a sac fly for an RBI. I mean, guys just stepped up and got the job done.
That's right, they did, and you said it. Early on, it felt like this game was lost, but in the words of broken English for great Reds pitcher Pedro Borbon, you can describe baseball in one word. You never know.
It's a long one word right there. Jesse, I'll let you cook. I promise you to the viewers, those still watching, we thank you, and we step aside here on a Monday night, a beautiful Monday night, and a wonderful win for the Matsu Miners, improving to 8-7 on this season, 3 weeks in as the start of Week 4 rolls along. We'll see the Pilots back here on Thursday. Tomorrow, though, the Miners host the Anchorage Bucks, another meeting with an important team. So that's all for today. The Miners 8, the Pilots 5, with Jesse Cook. I'm Austin Barach saying thank you for watching.